Joe Daly back with Behind the Law with Dennis Vetrano, our special extended edition today. Dennis, good to have you with us.
Good to see you.
We always talk about you and your firm, and we thought we'd take a few minutes to actually take the time to meet members of your firm.
Yes.
And this is a pleasure today.
Yes. Who do we have here today?
This is the wonderful Kristen Farris. Nice to have you with us.
Joe, how are you?
I'm doing great. Let me turn your mic on. Now, how long have you been with the firm?
I just finished my 8th year, so I'm going on almost 9 years with Dennis now.
Almost 9 years.
Almost 9 years.
Quite
Long
the
time.
experience, isn't it?
Definitely is an experience.
She means that in the kindest possible way. You know that, right?
I'm hoping. I'd like to ask you, first of all, before we do anything else, and I know we have a lot to discuss here in the time we have allotted, why did you get into law?
Well, it's funny because I was actually supposed to be a doctor.
Really?
I went to college to become a doctor, and halfway through college, I decided it wasn't for me. So I was like, well, what's the next best thing that I'm good at? Arguing. I like drama. So I thought, all right, let's go to law school. And then when I got to law school, everyone started picking their niche of where they wanted to go. And I said, well, I definitely want to be a divorce attorney. And my professors yelled at me and said, nobody wants to be a divorce attorney. And I said, well, you're looking at nobody, because I'm that one person that wants to be a divorce attorney.
I don't think I ever heard that story before.
Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of stories from law school you haven't heard.
Oh, my God. That's
but,
funny.
the one from, the professors, they always said that nobody wants to get into family law. Nobody wants to do divorce. And I kept saying, well, that's the one thing that I only wanted to do. I didn't want to do contract. I didn't want to do constitutional. And here I am.
Yeah, but the funny part is, I know that I got into divorce and family law mainly because it put me in the courtroom more than any other area of law, and I can see that for you. That has to be the motivating factor.
You enjoy that?
Oh, I do very
Okay.
much. I think it's also because I also did theater in college and even in high school, and that really gave me a basis of wanting to be in the limelight and being in the spotlight in front of people, and that's really kind of given me the skills to do what we do.
Courage.
That too.
Courage.
Yeah.
People don't realize, and I always tell people that I used to sing in a band years ago, and it sounds really, everybody laughs at that, and I will tell you,
I've heard him sing.
Yeah, when you're up in front of a group of people and they're looking at nothing other than you,
You're right.
it takes a tremendous amount of courage to do that. And the one thing that's as close to that that I can equate is conducting trials.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Conducting trials is exactly like that.
Now, Dennis, this is your firm, and you're very particular about how you choose somebody to be part of your firm.
Yeah.
Now, how did you choose Kristen?
It's funny because one of the things that was always that really attracted me to Kristen as an associate was, and having her on our team and an important part of our team, was that she had a very similar background to mine. She started out in a law firm with a sole practitioner who was aggressive and who had a good flow of clientele in virtually every area of law, and would say, hey, Kristen, go handle this. And similar to my boss, would dump a file in her lap at the last minute, and she'd have to figure it out. Do you know how much pressure that is? Do you know how hard that is?
Imagine.
And sometimes as a young lawyer, you don't even know the law very well yet. So now you need to stay up really late at night, right?
A lot of long hours.
Get up really early in the morning.
Always.
Be stressed out almost all the time.
Every day.
Yes. And yet know that you have a commitment, not as much to that boss, but to that client. Knowing that what you work so hard for, that degree that hangs on that wall and that certificate that says you've been admitted to the New York State Bar, they chose you to be a member of that very elite group. That means so much more than time or stress or aggravation, and you put it all aside. And even on 3 hours of sleep or 2 hours of sleep, I'm sure you can share
no
many.
Sleep.
Oh, right, or no sleep. You go in there prepared every time, no matter what it is. And she did that. She did that for a few years before she came to us. And then, now together we've helped to build this law firm that we have all of the tools and all of the resources to be the absolute best at what we do. And we chose the one area of law and stuck to that we're both, very good at. I mean, I think, she has that passion about things. Do you remember that story that I was telling you about, that case that you had? Obviously, we can't share any confidential aspects of the case. But do you remember what I told you was the leg up that you had on the other lawyer?
I think so, if you remind me.
Okay. Well, I'll tell the story.
I want to hear this.
I think it's best if you hear the story.
I'm curious.
I have more stories than God knows what. Joe, you know that, and Kristen knows just as well as you do. So
I do know.
I think we were up against a very experienced divorce law firm, and there was a one of those difficult issues, a contentious case. And I said to her, that other lawyer, I always have those conversations about legacies and people that have been law firms for years, and their mommy was a lawyer and their daddy was a lawyer and their great grandfather was a lawyer. Everything's always come easy to them. That's not us. We've always had to grind it out and work hard for everything we've accomplished. And in this case, we had, legacy sort of lawyer on the other side. And I said, the one thing you'll always have over them is you care more about what you do. You have a passion to be the best at what you do, so much more than that other person does. So even if they're knowledgeable and even if they're experienced, you will always prevail over them because you're willing to grind it out. You're willing to work harder. You really care about your degree hanging on the wall. You really care about that client you're representing. And that's the difference. And you'll find at the end of the day, that's what distinguishes good lawyers from the best.
And everybody at the firm has to have that same passion.
Yes.
You can't do it without that because this is a team effort. Everybody is involved.
Yes.
And you have the same passion, Kristen, for the family, too. I've seen that.
I do, yeah. I mean, if I have my own family, my husband and my kids, and I think now that I've had my own family, I've kind of brought that experience into my job a little bit more. And I look at what the core values are that we have at the law firm. And one of the biggest thing is what Dennis is hitting the nail on the head is compassion. Not only do you have to have the passion and the drive to want to do this, but you also have to have compassion in respects to meeting with your clients, speaking with them. And we've taken our personal experiences and our influences and shaping our own views at the law firm.
Yes.
And I think that's very important.
Yes. And she's like, I want you to know, she's like Wonder Woman sort of mom. She's the one she's the one that, like, in the office at the crack of dawn, grinding it out on every case, not leaving till it's time for her to go, and never really taking days off, those sorts of things. And then at the end of the day, she's also up till midnight, doing research on a case for a trial, and then at 1 a.m. making cupcakes for the kids for the next day, and then making little treat packages, so she's like star parent as well. So
I try my best. I mean, that's the only thing. But here's the thing is Dennis and I have talked about this. And if I didn't do that, I think I'd be more disappointed in myself. So it's like you pick and choose what you want to do. To me, it's not picking and choosing. You just have to do it all.
You know how important it is to do it all, though.
It is.
It is so necessary.
Yeah,
you are involved in people's lives in such an intimate way. It's such an important thing that's going on here. You would never drop the ball in any way, shape, or form. You put everything into it.
I do. And I think, we are very objective into our values and what we try to do at the law firm. And as attorneys, I mean, this is a very specific area of law that you have to be able to commit to having excellent service and commit to your job and commit to each client. And if you don't do that, you're going to fail at that.
But I think here's the thing. I think, and I see this in you, and I know that's probably part of what attracted you to come to our law firm as well, because I think you see it in me. It's part of the fiber of your being. You don't turn it on and turn it off. You don't say, I'm going to approach parenthood like, I'm just going to mail it in, and then yet you're going to turn around and the next day you're going to be the best lawyer on the planet. No, you do everything well. And I've always said this. I try to be the best parent I can be. I try to be the best husband I can be. I try to be the best on the soccer field as a teammate that I can be. Every little thing. I always tell people, look, if I was going to, even at tic-tac-toe, I want to win all the time. But that's the way Kristen is. We share that in common. It's woven into the fiber of her being. It's not something she turns on and turns off. It's who she is. And that, again, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. And I tell clients, look, not only do you want to pick somebody, when you're choosing a lawyer, not only do you want to pick somebody who's, smart and knowledgeable and seems like they're good at what they're doing, check out their website and the reviews and stuff like that, but you also want to hire somebody who's a good person, who you legitimately believe gives a crap about what they're doing for you and your family. And Kristen certainly has that in spades. Not just the the drive, that woven fabric of being a go-getter into your personality, but also that level of compassion that not everybody has. And you have to. And listen, you have to have it for this area of law. You can't have somebody coming into your office in the most difficult time in their life and not empathize.
It's hard. You can't make somebody care. And when you find somebody who really, truly does care, you have to embrace that person. And I'm so glad that Kristen is part of your firm, because it's just another piece of the puzzle that puts
Yeah.
the entire operation together and why it works as well as it does
Yeah.
on so many different levels.
Yeah, us too. Us too.
Wonderful.
I'm glad. I mean, I've talked to Dennis about this over the years, and I've said, look, there's no place else I'd rather be under the circumstances. I mean, we've worked well together for so long that I'm happy with what our firm has accomplished and what we're doing and what we do with our clients. And, you know, my motto, and Dennis was saying that, is I don't give up. I feel like there's always got to be an end resolution to this, and there has to be a great result. And I will fight until the death to get that result. I don't think there's any intermediary. I think you have to do that, or you're not doing our job justice.
Well, I hope you come and visit us again sometime soon. It's a pleasure having you here. Next time you come, please, cupcakes, would you?
Shamrock pretzels is on the next list. So.
If you saw some of the things she puts together for her kids, it's amazing. So, I mean, again, you know, look, you got to know what it's like to have kids. I think that certainly adds an extra dimension to it. And,
does.
you know, coming from Supermom over here.
A career, a passion, a family, she does it all.
Oh, good grief. I don't even
put
try
any
to
more
compete.
pressure on me right now.
Oh, my God. I don't even try to compete with that sort of stuff. I'm like, okay, Kristen, cupcakes, I can't do it. You're good. You win.
Kristen Farris, thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe.
Dennis, for more information about the firm, always the website's available and that Facebook page.
Yes, drvetranolaw.com. And bear in mind, we do have pretty significant bios of each and all of our staff members, including especially our attorneys. So if you check out the website, you can check out some professional videos, Kristen. You can check out her bio. So, you know, many times people say, look, you know, Dennis, I really like you. I really like your law firm, but I would feel much more comfortable with a female attorney. And listen, if that's the circumstance you're in, Kristen is a great fit. I encourage you to check out her bio on the website. I'm sure you'll be very impressed. As we are each and every day.
Every day. We'll meet everybody in the months to come at the firm here on this show.
Absolutely.
Again, thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Joe.
Good to see you, Joe.